dude, you gotta stop saying the N-word before we come on here.
That's a way to open it up. Yins is not the N-word. YinzCenter is back at you. We have a Penguins trade to announce.
We do.
We'll get to that. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in last place, so we're gonna move on from them at this point.
Shock face.
And the Steelers, they look bad still. So,
Yeah.
all of that and more coming up on this pre-chaotic weekend episode of YinzCenter. So, we have a trade to announce. Kyle Dubas and the Penguins have traded what many consider to be the top prospect in the organization, Braden Yeager.
What?
14th overall pick, first rounder.
Why?
Well, they traded him for another 14th overall first rounder. No, it's not Kasperi Kapanen.
Oh, okay, good. Because I thought that's what we were in the market for, was Kasperi Kapanen again.
No, he's not coming back.
Good.
It is Rutgers McGroarty coming back. He is
I think his name's actually Rutgers. I think it's just Rutger.
His Rutgers to me now. So Rutgers, he's an interesting player. 6'1", he's a 20 years old, drafted in 22. He's already at over 200 pounds.
6'1", 205 is what I saw already.
That's a big boy already
Yeah.
at the age of 20, and that might be exactly what this team needs. The rumor has it he wanted out of Winnipeg because he wants to be able to have a shot at playing in the NHL.
Yeah, and Winnipeg sounds like they were just going to send him straight down to the minors.
So for Mr. Dubas now to acquire this guy, I think there's more that's going to happen before this season begins, because you have about 18 different forwards now that are vying for a spot on this team, and you could only dress 12 of them.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if we see a sort of a package deal with a defenseman and a forward, because they just signed another defenseman to a PTO yesterday. I can't remember his name, but he was from the Sharks, and I think I saw somebody said he played with Erik Karlsson with under David Quinn. So just to spitball there, but maybe they're trying to bring him in, see if him and Karlsson mesh here again, and
because especially with the way that Mike Sullivan brings these guys along. So let's point out some other things about because Yinzers first off are going to butcher this name. McGroarty. Is that correct, Nevin?
McGroarty. Yeah, he's been on a couple of U.S. teams, like the under 20 World Junior Championships, and then under 18. I think he was the captain of that team, maybe both teams. But he's a gold medal winner in World Juniors. He's a bronze medal in under 18s.
I can't wait to hear the pronunciations. McGroarty. Get McGroarty out there. It was Sid out there.
People are just going to call him Rutger. Actually, I probably wouldn't be surprised if people just called him Rutgers.
Oh, yeah, Rutgers is totally going to happen. You already have the university stuff, so there you go.
Since July 1st, the ins and outs on the Penguins. Out has been Riley Smith, Jordan Frasca, and Braden Yeager, 2025 second and a 2026 fifth round. In has been Kevin Hayes, Matt Grzelcyk, Anthony Beauvillier, Blake Lizotte, defenseman Sebastian Aho, Cody Glass, and now Rutgers McGroarty. A 2026 second, a 2027 second, a 2025 third, another one, and a fifth in that same year, and a 2026 sixth round pick. So he said he came in and he wanted to get younger and he wanted to acquire picks, and with the exception of Kevin Hayes and Matt Grzelcyk, I would say, yeah, he has gotten younger.
Well, ironically enough, this move does make it, and trade a 19-year-old for a
20-year-old. Yeah, you get that tad older. Yeah,
but you do have you have a big forward, and you don't really I mean, 6'1's not huge, but Tom Wilson stands at about 6'1 too, and he was in the heavier side of things.
I mean, obviously, don't ask me, but don't men typically grow until like they're 21, 22? So he could possibly hit another little growth spurt there, get up to 6'4".
Could definitely fill out more. I wouldn't count on a growth spurt at this point, but
just a little one. Like I said, get up to like 6'3", 6'4".
You're asking for another 2 to 3 inches. So
hey, depending on who you are and who you ask, that's not a lot.
Hey, as long as he plays strategically, as long as he plays a big man's game, that's all that really matters. Patrick Hornquist stood at 5'10", and he played a big man's game.
And I've seen people kind of comparing him to Patrick Hornquist. So,
well, let's see. I'm looking at elite prospects here.
Yes.
They have his player type as cerebral tactician, physical forward, two-way center.
Yeah. So I've also seen some of the
who plays the center position and left wing. So could go either way with the wing or.
Well, listen, being that we have 18 centermen right now, he'll start on the wing. You don't need to have a 20-year-old kid step in to be a center, third-line center right now.
Well, Jake Gensel was a center, too, who slid over to the left wing.
Yeah. So, and funny enough, they're both from Nebraska.
So there's some interest there. Because it's another team's 14th overall pick. And Yeager did look like he had some promise, and we did have some hopes that he could compete and put himself in the conversation for this spot. Not someone who's actually going
to be in that spot. Yeah.
Yeah, someone who could try to actually bully their way onto an NHL roster.
My opinion, I told you this earlier, I think Rutger McGroarty will be on this team on opening night. And I feel like Braden Yeager was probably another year away. Now, maybe on opening night, maybe he would have been there, but I don't think that he would have played a full season or...
I'd have to agree with you there, because then he would have went down to juniors.
Right.
Most likely.
Because I don't think he would have been eligible to go to the AHL.
Correct.
So he would have had to have gone back to juniors, whereas McGroarty played in college, and he still can decide one way or the other if he wants to go pro or go back to college. But it sounds like he's wanting to go pro, and that's why him and Winnipeg were so far apart. Because I think Winnipeg either wanted him to go back or play in the AHL, and he wants to go now.
And Yeager is a kid that can go ahead and bask for another year, and that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And Winnipeg probably is in that boat where they can afford that, because they do have some forward depth.
They're able to compete now, but they're a competitive team, but they're not going to be a playoff team.
And he could be somebody who is an interesting ad late in the season.
Right, for another team.
He's not somebody that's going to realistically make this team out of camp. And McGroarty, like we've said at this point, that's, you got a guy who is from, 1 year draft class prior. He's been playing with some NHL smart kind of guys at Michigan.
Yeah, he was there. So I was looking this up earlier. He was there for, I think, Adam Fantilli's last year. He was there for a year or the year or two with Luke Hughes at Michigan. It kills me to say it, but God damn it, those teams were so good at Michigan. Another Columbus prospect in Gavin Brindley played there at Michigan in those same years. So that team was stacked, and he was one of, if not the best in that. I don't want to call it an organization, but camp, we'll say, university. And I think, do you still have his Elite Prospects page up?
I do. What are you after?
I think he was a Hobie Baker finalist 1 year. 2021, I want to say. 22?
Well, let's see. We got some stats. He did end up signing his 3-year entry-level contract as well, so... That's another suspicion that there's going to be another move made. Do you think it's Ryan Graves? Do you think that do you think that they actually have enough? Because it's been weird. There's been some deals made that are clearly deals. Like Edmonton had a deal after getting kind of boned by St. Louis.
Yeah, they turned around. Who did they pick up? Edmonton.
They got Savoy, who was a Jaeger teammate.
Well, yeah, but I meant they just got somebody in a trade, didn't they? After the whole Holloway and Broberg thing.
You'll have to look it up. I'm already looking something else up.
Yeah.
52 points with Michigan last season, 16 goals, 36 assists in 36 games. So that's 36 assists in 36 games is a pretty solid clip to be going at.
It was 23-24 season. So this year he won World Junior Gold. He was a top collegiate player, Hobey Baker nominee, second team in the NCAA West All-American, All-Tournament team in the Big Ten, and first team All-Star team in the Big Ten as well this year. So not a bad year for him.
Speaking of Hobey Baker, you remember Paul Steigerwald?
Oh boy.
Whenever he made the Hobey Baker joke.
Of course, I would bring that up, and yeah, and then didn't he lose his job immediately after that? Like, didn't he get fired like right after that?
No, he was around for a few more years.
Oh, well, hey, that was before social media really took off and started coming for people's jobs.
I think they kind of accepted that he died in a plane crash many years ago.
Fair enough. I would say, yeah. I you can't really argue with that, yeah.
And this plane crash talking is brought to you by everyone's favorite place,
Badge's Bar.
Oh, wow. I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will too. So, if you want to definitely not talk about airplanes crashing, that's a good place to do it.
Just going to sit here in silence until something else comes up.
Do you have a segue?
Nope.
No segue.
I got nothing for that. I was not expecting that.
You made me trumble through whatever that was at the beginning, and you have no segue for that.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
So I will say, Nev, the people of YinzCenter have been clamoring. They want to know.
I'm sure they have.
They've been noticing your weight loss and how toned you are. They want to know what your diet might be.
Basically chicken and rice, meat and rice, or potatoes, chicken carbs, fruits, grapes.
Is there anything you've had to cut out?
I don't do fast food hardly at all, which is ironic because I was thinking about doing that tonight when we're done recording. So,
and I've heard you cut out all vagina from your life. Is that true?
No.
Okay, that's not what my sources have told me. But
well, I can assure you that your sources are wrong.
Okay, because my sources were also saying that you're considering transitioning.
Also wrong. So, your sources are like our sources in the NFL, NHL, MLB, just non-existent and wildly inaccurate.
You don't get no pussy. I got him. I got him.
Well, never mind. Our grandmother listens to this show. Sometimes, anyway.
Oh,
It's funny because I got some this morning.
Whoa. Ooh, that's gross. Can't believe you do that.
I know, right? How dare me. Do you see that all three Hughes brothers are on this year's NHL 25? Or NHL video game?
I did not. I'm kind of over buying the NHLs and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't bought one since like 2018, I feel like.
No, I like to do the franchise modes, and I mean, it had the expansion draft ones, which are cool, but like after that, it's just kind of dumb. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't care for ultimate team modes. I mean, if I just want to do a franchise, I can just try and rebuild from like the 2020 Penguins and and hope that I can rebuild better than Ron Hextall did. Shouldn't be hard.
Kyle Dubas has done a pretty good job at that, I would think. There's still somebody else out there that I think we talked about, man. I really think that the Penguins might try to go after Nicholas Robertson now.
You've heard that name floating around.
Well, I mean, it's fitting. Kyle Dubas had him in Toronto. He's young. I think he's also only 20, 21 years old, something like that. So,
and it seems like the team that the Leafs, like, I don't know if they would necessarily be able to match. He's a restricted free agent. Is that correct?
let me see. I'm not sure.
Believe so, because if he is a restricted free agent, then you would have to send over proper.
He's 22,
tender.
so I would imagine so.
Yes, that would be a restricted free agent. So, yeah. So if you were to sign him, you'd have to kind of do what St. Louis did with Dylan Holloway, and it'd have to be a deal like that.
It wouldn't be nearly as much.
I don't think that would happen until they start moving some of these other pieces
27
around.
points in 56 games last year. So, I mean, let me see what Dylan Holloway had. He had 9 points in 38 games. And what did St. Louis get?
They had to give up what it was equivalent to a third-round pick.
When we have two of those next year.
One of them is our own, which we would need.
Right.
And then you get somebody that's another piece in that age.
22 years old.
Age group.
Yeah, he's 22. I mean, to me, I don't think he really... Sheldon Keefe never really gave him a shot, a chance, however you want me to say it, in Toronto. So, I don't know. I think he'd be a welcome addition. Why not? I mean, look at how we did with a bunch of kids back in 2015, 2016. Just throwing that out there. Brian Rust, young Jake Gensel, young Brian Rust, Tom Kuhnhackl.
Well, I'm just looking through the lineup, and I mean, remember, you have already like some guys that you already know are locked into spots, whether it be their salary because of salary reasons or whatever it might be. But I mean, you have obviously Sid, Malkin, Raquel, Rust that are gonna definitely make the team. Michael Bunting,
Right.
Drew O'Connor,
Carlson.
Well, I'm looking at just the forwards right now. And then you're going to have
Kevin
Hayes in there. Probably Cody Glass.
Blake Lizotte.
That's another.
I know that he's not really like a fringe guy, in my opinion. But
Beauvillier.
Bemstrom.
Well, I wouldn't know if Bemstrom's going to be one of them guys that's going to be one of the tweeners.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But I mean, then that's not even including any of the guys, any of the forwards that, that's like Jesse Puljujarvi, Valtteri Puustinen, Vasily Ponomarev, Matt Nieto, Ville Koivunen.
Right.
Lars Eller, who's still on this team. Nola Chari, who's still on this team.
Do you think he gets flipped for somebody? I mean, for a fourth round draft pick?
If somebody would even give that to you.
That was just the first thing that came to mind. It could be. I mean, if you get an offer for him, do you take it?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I just wanted to see if we're on the same page.
Then you got to add McGroarty into that mix too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's gonna be competing.
Yeah, because if we had Braden Yeager competing and more people are saying that he's closer to NHL already than Yeager, then we got to throw Yeager or McGroarty in there.
And the way that they keep building up the defense too, it makes me really do feel like that Ryan Graves is not going to be on this team.
That's what I mean,
because I thought for sure he was going to, but I mean, you've added so many like 5-6 type of guys, and then you mentioned the the dude from San Jose who I don't know.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'll pull his.
And then you have all these other, these tweener 5'6" guys with Sebastian Aho, Matt Grislick, John Ludwig, Jack St. Ivany,
The defenseman
Ryan Shea.
He's on a PTO. Nikolai Nyshov.
You got him. Not going to try and re-say that. And then you have...
Especially because there's a K in front. It's KNYZHOV.
And then you have Owen Pickering trying to battle for a spot in that top 6 as well.
Right.
And it's going to be...
And did you count Jack St. Ivany?
I did.
Okay.
I did mention that. And that's, we didn't mention...
Ryan Shea.
I did mention Ryan Shea. And that's not mentioning, the big guys between Carlson, Letang, and Marcus Pettersson.
And guess who else we left off the forward side?
Who?
Sam Poulin.
Yeah, I don't see
I
him.
don't
even see him being remotely close at this point. I don't think he's even going to be an NHLer at this point. I think it might be about done for him.
Yeah, I would have to agree. But there's still, there's a chance it turns around. Who knows? Who knows what he brings into camp?
He's going to have to really impress for sure.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Perhaps crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. This team is now in a decent spot. Because you know for almost a certain fact you're going to get that injection from Rutger McGroarty. You still want to try to, in my opinion, get a little bit younger. So if you can move on from an Olachari or Lars Eller, then...
I think that's where you might almost try and make a deal with Toronto. And at the end, again, it's not like Toronto can take on more salary.
Right.
So you might just have to offer sheet Roberts. If you offer sheet Robertson, then there's another forward you're bringing into the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
who's going to have to battle it out to try and earn a spot in that top 6.
Yeah. And
which you maybe have 2 spots, but you got to also, and that's counting as Crosby, Malkin, Rust, Raquel. That's what you're paying to be in the top 6. And probably O'Connor's going to have to be unseated because he did play decently enough down the stretch to earn his spot there for now, but... And then Bunting, there's the other one. He's not coming out of the top 6 either.
Yeah,
so maybe you only have 1 spot.
So right now, O'Connor, Sid, Rust, Bunting, Gino, Raquel. This is just what Pensburg.com has as a potential lineup. Beauvillier, Hazy, and Valtteri Puustinen. And then I will say Blake Lizotte, what's his name? Lars Eller, and then a 4th line right wing.
PP Poo-Poo.
Sure, that works. So, my opinion, you at that point, plug the kid in, put in Rutger McGroarty in your top mid-6, slide somebody else down, slide down. I don't like putting Valtteri Puustinen on the 4th line because it's another young kid that could, but slide him down, put Rickard or Kell on the 3rd line, and then you put McGroarty up on the 1st or 2nd line.
I don't think Raquel's the type of guy that can play in the bottom 6.
I don't think so either. But then, so then do you maybe put Drew O'Connor down there and then...
I think everything's on the table.
Right.
Guys got to earn their spots, and no one should be complacent.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Not after the last 2 years.
No, and then don't forget you have another Tristan Bras. I don't think he's going to push to make the team, but it's another kid that in a year or two could very well be on this team. So,
yeah, he definitely needs a full professional season.
Right, absolutely. But
to gauge where he'll be at, but
right.
Yes, I did see his name in that mix too, but that's why I didn't even mention him. So that is...
We have 10 defensemen that could possibly make this roster.
So that is the Penguins.
That's insane.
That's kind of what we think after this latest update with the trade, and I think, and we said, I think there's still more to come.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'm really, really curious to see what's gonna, if anything. I mean, I don't expect anything to because they're both young, but you have 2 young goalies coming up. You have Jari and Nedeljkovic both signed. I mean, maybe at the deadline, if things aren't going well, I don't want to. I hate to look too far ahead, but if things aren't going well, maybe you try to pawn off Jari and just say the hell with it, and we'll run with Ned or in Miroshov or Ned and Gauthier, right? Taylor Britt, I don't remember his name.
You're thinking of the Swedish guy.
Oh,
Blomqvist.
yes, Blomqvist. I don't know why I said Gauthier.
I don't know either.
I think he was just a goalie listed on the roster. I can't talk. Yeah, Taylor Gauthier. I don't know who he is.
That sounds like some guy that was like an NHL, AHL tweener in NHL 14.
AHL, ECHL.
Whoops.
Yeah, he played 20 games in AHL in 2022. He played 20 there, 16 ECHL, 4 in the the next year, and then 42 in the ECHL. So he's an ECHL guy.
That's some thrilling stuff.
Absolutely. I figured you'd enjoy that.
All right, so that's your Penguin mid-off season recap. I guess whatever. We got an update, and that was the update, like the trade. So a little bit of both, getting younger, but also trying to win now.
I like it.
Still, we'll see. All right, so the Pittsburgh Steelers scored a whopping 3 points against the Bills in the last preseason game.
Cool. Looking good.
They say the offense is going to be in tune. Once they roll out the starters here against the Lions. Nevin, do you still think Fields is the quarterback to start for this team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, I do. Yep. I got no evidence to back it up, but yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how the offense looks. They are going to be playing Saturday, 1 o'clock. Final preseason game.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
And then regular season football is right there. It's going to be right around the corner.
Your wedding day is on a football day, huh?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Steelers don't play that day.
Yeah, but still.
Just happen to luck out that way.
I mean, yeah, but it's a fantasy football day. Still kind of shocking to those that know you, I would think.
Only date the wedding venue had available
I figured as much.
this year.
Still kind of shocking. Right, yeah. Yeah, and can't blame your fiance for not wanting to wait until next year just because of fantasy football.
I wasn't going to hold it back either.
I kind of don't believe it.
Your choice.
Only kind of.
Your body, your choice.
Yep.
Lenev, I heard you had some good stuff to say about the Democrats.
Right. Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
these are good things, right?
Let's bring out Stephen fucking Hawking, and let's actually just dig him up from the dead. Might as well, because that's what the fuck that sounded like.
And for those that missed it, there was a bit where they brought out a
guy in a wheelchair. I don't know what he had. Maybe he had ALS, but anyway, he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't talk. And then they had like a translator there that literally just like it was like, hey, this is what he's supposed to be saying.
She translated mumbles.
It wasn't even mumbles, dude. There was no enunciation at all. It was just. It was like you literally could not try to make out. I sat there for 10 minutes trying to just decipher it, and I'm somebody that has like. I don't want to say a background, but like I deal with people that are severely disabled quite often. I couldn't figure out what the fuck this dude was saying. So there's no way that anybody there could tell me that that's what that guy was trying to say. Apparently now he might. I saw somewhere that he like worked in something in the Obama administration, and I was like, okay, well then that would clearly be like ALS.
He probably said something along the lines of
no
Barack Obama made
way.
me this way. Please stop this madness.
Please stop. Please stop. Big Mike and Barack from docking at the DNC. But
whoa, Nevin's based alert. Bold talk from
but,
Democrat of the Year.
But dude, like, tell me that that's not just a whole fucking PR move. It's like, oh, we're just gonna make everybody feel bad, but also feel good because we're gonna bring this guy out and he's gonna pretend say nice things about us.
To explain it to those who don't know, the man was wheeled out there and he mumbles, and the translator proceeds to say right off with full confidence at the Democrat National Convention. The translator proceeds to say with full confidence, I have full faith in Kamala Harris, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Bullshit. I'm sorry, but bullshit. There's no way that's, like, I don't want to say that's not what the dude thinks, because even if he has ALS, he can still think. But there's no chance that they knew that that's what that guy was saying. Now, like, I've known people that can't talk at all. Everybody knows a guy by the name, like I said, Stephen Hawking. He had a voice box for him. He had a machine that spoke for him. Why are you going to bring somebody out that literally cannot talk and not give them something like that? Apparently her campaign's brought in over $1 billion. They can't spend a little bit of fucking money for their charity case and help them out at least a little bit. No, that was part of the thing. They wanted everybody to feel really, really bad.
No, because they're too busy funneling that money into their own pockets.
Well, yeah, of course. It's politics. It's everybody. It's everybody involved in all that. But, like, it was just so disgusting to see, because everybody's like, oh, look how empowering, look how inspiring he. Bullshit. That's all that move was for them to be able to say, oh, well, look what we did. Do you see Donald Trump doing that? Donald Trump will make fun of people with disabilities. He won't have them come out and speak on his stage. No, that was for your own fucking ego. Like, there's no other way that I can be sold on that other than that was for their own ego. Somebody try to tell me how else that can be explained.
Well, because they don't do anything wrong ever, and everything that just happens to go bad under their watch is not their fault, even though they've been in charge for 12 of the last 16 years.
Yeah, that was really funny.
None of that is their fault.
That was a really funny thing. I didn't watch it, but you know,
it all
Twitter's
stems from those 4 years.
But it was like,
I didn't watch shit.
It's like we can come back and we can fix what's broken in this country, and it's like Kamala is literally in office right now, and she can fix those issues that she thinks that we do.
But
she can fix them right now if she really wanted to. She's just there's no will to. Don't even get me fucking started on her campaign slogan. What God damn it. Now I want to look it up because
now you're gonna curse your phone. Now, don't do it, bro. Don't look up. Don't do it. You're gonna curse your phone.
Believe me, if you saw my phone's.
Gonna get AIDS.
Monkeypox?
While you're looking for that, maybe I did a joke about like doing a thing Maybe we could put out there in the world that you might be euthanized by the Democrats now, so we should have everybody subscribe to our podcast, and we'll put like sad pictures of you. We could take sad pictures of you this weekend and make it look like we're gonna kill you. Or you could be like really happy in the pictures, so people will think that like, oh, how can this happy young man just be euthanized by the Democrats because of his political opinion?
That's what it is. Okay, hold on.
But I'm gonna do it in like the style of like those sad dog posts. So like, you know, it's like, hey, adopt this dog and look how sad it is, and you know, we can maybe find a cage to put you in. And
So, have you heard her campaign slogan, "Strength through joy"?
can you explain that to me?
Well, it's a old slogan used by a let me not say it, by a not so great group of people in Germany.
A not so great.
Nazi great German party. It was Kraft der. My German's terrible. I took 1 year and I failed. So
I can't believe you're talking about
Freude.
Germany because I can't
Well,
believe you're a Nazi,
it
bro.
goes back. Well, that's not me. That's what Kamala's campaign slogan is: "This strength through joy," and it's also what Hitler used. Strength through joy, and that's this Kraft der Freude is. Whoa. Just saying. Just. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying.
That
I mean, hey, I bring vital information to this podcast.
that's something, huh?
Yeah, a little bit, huh? It's great.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Sure it is.
Everything will be fine. Just your Pirates, they suck, and there's no more Hempfield Greensburg Salem game.
Yeah, I think last year kind of proved that they don't need to do that anymore. Didn't they get the shit kicked out of them?
Yeah. Well, at least we got them fired up for that one.
Yeah, we really did.
Oh, there's the official notification.
Uh-oh.
Less than 2 days until draft time.
Oh.
Oh boy.
I like how you have your fantasy draft in there, but not your bachelor party.
I mean, that's just I'm in bachelor party mode, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. I figured you guys are going golfing tomorrow, right?
Oh, that is one of the activities we have planned throughout the weekend. You gonna sneeze?
No, I just farted and it smells terrible.
Oh, great, you got this. You got the sirens activated. They think there's a gas leak. Way to
Smells
go.
like a gas leak coming from my asshole. I don't want any firemen checking that out, though.
At least you timed that to go pretty good with an ambulance.
I'm pretty sure that was a fire truck, not an ambulance.
Sirens of the sea. Well, speaking of the sea, do you have anything else you really want to get into?
I mean, I have a couple of remember whens we haven't done for a while. There's some more sirens.
There are some more sirens, but
I mean, it's actually very fitting for this. So, do you remember in the 1940s in Greensburg when the city had a population of 16,000 residents and a 19-man police force? No, you do not. Okay.
no,
Well,
that was not
one of the
thought.
most spectacular and long-discussed murders in city history occurred about 11:20 p.m., April 11th, 1947, on Main Street in front of the Barclay Bank across from the courthouse. I feel like that's kind of close to where we are right now.
That would be. Yes, that's correct.
This woman who was about 35 was shot and instantly killed as a horrified Penn Transit bus driver looked on. Witnesses said the mother of 5 children was trying to get away from her estranged husband, who after killing her put his revolver to his head and pulled the trigger. Only a click resulted. He escaped and then and the search by city and state police contributed to his later apprehension in Denver, November 18th, 1948. Convicted after an earlier 1949 trial, appeals and other delays prolonged the story until his March 30th, 1953 execution at Rockview Penitentiary. You remember that?
No, that was a cool little tidbit there, though, of history. A
I got
murder
another one.
on this block. On this block?
On this block, it sounds like, because it says across from the courthouse, Main Street across from the courthouse.
Yeah.
The bus station right down there. So maybe it's down a block.
Right in there. Yeah, that's right in this area.
But, yeah.
All right. Is this one around here, too?
Yeah. I got actually.
Go ahead.
So I got these off of GreensburgPA.org, surprisingly. Just
Whoa.
off the city's site. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what you got? What you got for this last one here?
Let me get my phone to cooperate. Which one do I want to do? At approximately 11:58, a masked male walked in the front door of the East Hills office. He proceeded... Do I have another one here? I feel like I had something there before that.
You're losing me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Throughout the years, bank robbers have had little success in outwitting Greensburg police officers. Through a combination of quick response and aggressive investigations, most have been brought to justice. This was demonstrated on January 22nd, 1970, when an armed robber was taken into custody as he was fleeing the East Hills office of the First National Bank of Westmoreland. The bank's January 23rd newsletter boldly proclaimed the, quote, "The fact that several off-duty policemen participated in the pursuit of the suspect contributes to a feeling of security of our staff, our bank, and the citizenry of our city." At approximately 11:58, a masked male walked in the front door of the East Hills office. He proceeded directly across the lobby to the nearest teller up opposite the front door and brandished a gun. "This is a holdup," he said, instructing the teller at whose window he was starting to get money from several cash drawers. He told the other staff members to lay on the floor, and after taking a sum of money, he left the bank by the same door as he entered. He walked briskly through the Sears parking lot as if looking for a car. He was apprehended by Greensburg police while commandeering the car of one Samuel Mumau Jr., a Sears employee. Police later identified the masked bandit to be Roger Edward O'Toole, 41, of, Pittsburgh. The response of off-duty officers gave rise to the ideal that all officers should be issued a police radio monitor for installation in their homes. It was believed that their ability to monitor activity while off-duty would aid in a quick response to serious crimes. I should have ended on the other one. I should have flipped those. I apologize.
You sure did. You sure should have flipped those. It's okay. You tried. You tried to entertain the folks with another Greensburg thing. But for the bachelor party, we'll end it with what are
Nice little party on 5th Ave.
what are some of your favorite things about Maryland? So we'll go back and forth here. Let's see if we can come up with anything. I'll go
What's
first.
the Chicken Pete's?
And then it's more of a Philly thing.
I don't know. I was trying to think of the crab place, but
Old Bay.
crabs in general.
Okay. There's a waterfall not far from the Deep Creek area. That's pretty nice.
Deep Creek. That's pretty much all I know about Maryland. Good anyways.
Scott Van Pelt went to Maryland University. The Terrapins.
Very true. What else do I like about Maryland? I like Ray Lewis.
Steve Francis. I think he played at Maryland.
Don't fade out on me here. Give me 1 second to look this up. I'm pretty sure this dude played in Baltimore as well. But I want to be 100% certain, and I don't want to ask you.
Is it someone who murdered somebody, maybe?
No. Okay, yes. No, he didn't murder somebody. But he did play it for the Baltimore Ravens. One Steve McNair.
Ah, okay. Yeah, he was murdered.
Yeah, his new Netflix documentary just dropped.
I watched that.
Is it good? I just saw that it was on there.
It's about everything I already knew anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of hate how they're doing that more and more. Bring us more Aaron Hernandez shit like that we didn't know about.
Yeah. Maybe something you might not have known, but
I mean, yeah, I probably didn't.
maybe
like,
a different angle or two.
I was like,
but
what, 12 whenever he got murdered?
it was a good while ago. It was like 15 years ago.
So yeah, I would have been like 12, 13.
Wow, that was 15 years ago. He was murdered.
Yeah, no, I'm old.
He's more synonymous with Tennessee, though.
Yeah,
Nashville.
right. That's why I had to really look it up. But I thought he played in Baltimore for a year or two.
So you reached. All right.
I didn't reach.
All right, well, that's enough for today.
I thought, actually, if anything, that's impressive for me to know that Steve McNair played for the Ravens.
That's enough. That's a wrap on the episode. We'll see yous all next week.
I'll probably be violently hungover still.
And
Because I haven't drank in forever, and this weekend's going to suck for me with all of you and your buddies. So.
And he may get AIDS.
That's a heck of an episode.